Welcome back to the CineClub podcast. After a well-earned break, we have returned to talk more films. I'm Jake.
I'm Connell.
I'm Bebe.
And I'm Rhys.
This week, we'll be discussing some of the things we watched in our time off, because while streaming is most people's go-to nowadays, the regular TV channels had lots of good content to offer too, with everything from Hitchcock to Disney. So, did everyone have a nice Christmas and New Year?
Absolutely.
Good. That's what we like to
Let's
hear.
just say it was a complete piss-up.
Well, yeah, that's the way it generally goes. It gets to a point where you sort of, it's like the shift from like Polar Express waiting for Santa, getting all your presents to like still get, then you're like, this is like the in-between where you're sort of like not quite too old for it, but you still get free stuff, but then you also can get pissed as well.
Yeah, that's the greatest thing.
Oh, the food. Oh.
I mean, that used to just be like a stepping stone when I was a kid. Now it's like the main thing.
That's what I'm most excited about these days, just the food. The Christmas dinner was peak this year.
Peak cuisine.
Peak cuisine.
The Christmas dinner, the only time you see a turkey in the whole year. That's true.
They defrost at Christmas. It's like Mariah Carey.
Is that the hibernation?
Yeah. Turkey's
Come
hibernation.
out of the cave just to get killed.
It's like, right, here we go, lads. It's like, it's been fun. I think because that's one thing I'm quite glad we're British, because I feel like it would dull the effect if you had Thanksgiving and Christmas, because they get like a big turkey dinner like a month before Christmas. Like, it makes it more special when it's like a once a year thing. You know, it's cool. So.
If American everything is to go off, then they have like the most gigantic turkeys in the whole world.
Yeah,
like man-sized turkeys.
It's
really scary. I feel like I'm missing out.
That's true. Yeah, I do kind of miss out on that.
Spent the whole of Thanksgiving fighting off a man-sized turkey.
Like a caveman, you gotta like actually kill it yourself, bring it home. It's like meat.
Probably would be back in the Stone Age. Like,
probably.
just
massive turkeys. The first Christmas, I'd love that. Saint Ugg comes along to give you a present.
Saint Ugg.
Oh god, what is it? It's a wheel.
A wheel? What the fuck's a wheel?
Oh my god.
Anyway, back on with Christmas. I enjoyed it. My granda, it was kind of short this year. Everyone kind of just went home.
Didn't want to spend time with
the Gavin and Stacey like finale was the highlight of the day for everyone. I'm not into it though, so I just kind of sat there all. My entire family was like enraptured by this show, and I was just thinking,
I think it was
James Corden's on it.
I think it was the most watched broadcasted on the day thing on Christmas Day in the whole country. I think it was.
It was a killer double bill from a new Wallace and Gromit followed by Gavin and Stacey.
That was in second place, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time.
About society.
Well,
we're in the dark age now.
How dare they? It's like I can't remember the last time a proper BBC thing like just fired on all cylinders and everybody stopped everything to watch like the proper telly. It was that's what Christmas is all about. Watching telly,
watching telly in silence.
Turkey and telly, literally. That is it. It's the highlight. But yeah, no, I know what you mean, because my family were the same, and I watched it with them because I'd never seen Gavin and Stacey in its entirety, but I had seen, like, I watched the last Christmas special, because it was the same thing where they were all like, oh, we want to watch this, and I was like, well, whatever, I'll be here. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, that's quite funny, I like that. And then I watched this other one, and I was like, oh, I really like that. So now I've started watching the whole thing. So
it's a good show.
I'm working my way back, but I'm loving it so far. It's so funny, so yeah.
I might have to do that eventually, because Gavin and Stacey is one of the comedy shows which I haven't seen.
Yeah.
And it's like, I only just finished watching Only Fools, and then same with Green Grass, and then a bit of Rock and Chips. But like,
well, it's because it's not that long either.
3 episodes.
Sorry, because I've just started. I never saw Only Fools, and but we went to watch the Christmas specials, but the only one we saw was like not that Christmassy. It was the one with the Batman and Robin. So funny.
Yeah,
the best, on par with the Jolly Boys Out.
Jolly Boys Out, I think, was always my favourite. Yeah, that's great. But the Batman and Robin's like one of the funniest moments. Amazing. It's so good. But
we'll get there faster if we ran. Just there in the back of it.
It's the fact that costumes are like the same level of quality as
yeah,
the
it's like
Animus.
you get like a short, fat Batman and a really tall Robin like running about. It's like it's great.
Dell, let's go.
He's like still doing the like 60s Robin like characteristics. It's like, yeah, that's those are good examples. I'm trying to think. Yeah, but I mean, Gavin and Stacey was the big one this year, but. It's like it's good old TV Christmas specials. You don't really see them as much, which is why it was quite good this year that there was like 2, and they were both really good. So
at least they weren't like competing. Like if they were, I think families would be torn apart picking between Wallace and Gromit and Gavin and Stacey.
well, that was nearly my family because my relatives came over in the like sort of the afternoon. And they were there for quite a while, but they were there when Wallace and Gromit was on, so we didn't have Wallace and Gromit on. So they left just as Gavin and Stacey was about to start, and I was like, what we're going to do? I want to watch Wallace and Gromit. And they were like, well, we want to watch Gavin and Stacey. But so I got overruled. We watched Gavin and Stacey. And then they all went to bed and I watched Wallace and Gromit. So I still got to watch both on the same day. I was up till like 1 o'clock in the morning or something, but it was worth it, man.
Yeah, because we are being a bit like nostalgic here, being like, oh, when Telly was something, but like there are good points, you can watch things on demand. You can just watch something if you missed it.
I say all of that and then I didn't actually watch Wallace and Gromit live. I just recorded it and watched it.
No, to be honest, I didn't watch most stuff of it live. I watched most of it the next day.
Yeah. Which is because you have more time on Boxing Day anyway. It's good to have that there. So
yeah, Boxing Day is just next for Christmas. Just catch up on what you missed.
It is, isn't
like
it?
presents wise. At the present, you're not like too bothered about like, oh, actually, this is quite good. This,
finally,
sweets, like,
chocolate and sweets and more Telly. Turkey sandwiches as well. That's like
the leftovers.
Christmas dinner's good enough, but when you get the leftovers, it's just the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, as soon as we mentioned it quite a bit, we might as well address the penguin or the chicken in the room, depending on your perspective. Did everyone actually enjoy the new Wallace and Gromit? Because I thought it was absolutely peak.
Oh, good. I was so worried when you said absolutely. I was like, what's he gonna say? I really liked it. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, I really liked it. It doesn't give me like the same vibe as Wrong Trousers, but like they kind of all have different vibes to each other. They're kind of all like putting these quaint characters in like these outlandish scenarios, but like it was really funny. I really liked it. And I was kind of relieved, like, I don't know, whenever, like, something you love releases something new, you're like, oh, well, let's be the
especially
point.
It's like the first one they've done in, like, 10 years, like a new Wallace actor. I was, like, very skeptical, and I was a bit like... And also, I mean, I know, like, The Wrong Trousers is my favourite, not just favourite, it's one of my favourite things ever, let alone favourite, like, films, but...
my favourite too.
It's my favourite, but when the said Feathers was coming by, I was a bit like... like, is that like a little bit lazy? Are they sort of doing almost like an MCU-ification of Wallace and Gromit? I was like, I was a bit apprehensive.
Yeah.
And then when I watched it, I loved it because it was just like very much the same style of humor from the first one. And I mean, so many references. Like, it was ridiculous amount of references to different things. The whole end's basically just the Italian job, and then when he's got the little scanner and it's like aliens. It's like all different robots. And it was like it was so funny. Like, there's just so many bits like that for such a sort of bizarre British sort of thing, and yet it had. But then it had that. But then it also had all of this like the host Anton Deck. And it's Ant on Deck. It's like
and the reporter on your doorstep.
It's like it was great. And Peter Kay was back as well.
Yeah,
yes.
I love that so much.
He
Return
was
as PC Macintosh was just great because he was amazing in Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Yeah, we quote the I think it was us.
I think this was arson. Aye, someone arson.
Get all that. We used to quote that so much as kids.
When he's coming over to the door, he's like, someone's in for a nasty surprise, and then they come plowing through and like flatten him with the door. Did we get him? It's like,
oh man.
It was I mean, it was hilarious, and you could really go on because it's like, and because it was quite long as well. I wasn't expecting it to be feature length. I thought it was just gonna be like a 40-minute, half-hour sort of thing. And there were so many moments where it was just like, this both feels like really cinematic, but also like it's just really, I don't know, like sort of homegrown and very in that sort of Aardman style, like, because stuff like Chicken Run and even Curse of the Were-Rabbit feels a lot more Hollywood, I think, like probably because like DreamWorks was involved, but this it felt like it had the best elements of that while still being a fun Christmas Day BBC One thing to watch with your family rather than something that you feel like you should have been watching in the cinema. So
I do have one criticism though.
Oh,
I think I might get beat to death for this, maybe.
Correct.
I think it kind of stays, like, it dwells too much in the past of Wallace and Gromit.
Right.
Like, we get feathers back. Because
Yes.
if you look at it before this, there's not been any interconnecting, like, Wallace and Gromit things ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And-
you're right.
And then you have Peter Kay, police officer, back. You have Feathers McGraw back. And it just seems like it's not... I don't want to say it's original, because original's a very, like, vague term that you can say, oh, it's not original to anything, right?
Yeah.
And dismiss it.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's living too much in its own legacy sometimes.
I get that.
I do get what you mean, yeah. And I think I was going in and I was apprehensive
Yeah.
of that. But I think that the fact that Norbot was so funny massively helped, because I was like, this sort of the whole like newness of it lives or dies with if this little robot gnome is like funny or really annoying.
Yeah.
I thought he was hilarious. Like, he was just
Yeah.
class. I loved him.
Yeah.
So I was a bit like, okay, that's good that they've got something new mixed with something
Yes, I
old.
agree.
Like,
I
it was
was-
kind of a bit of both.
I was a bit skeptical when I saw him, like,
Yeah.
saw
Yeah.
Norbert, and,
Yeah.
but then as it went on, I started to like him because he was kind of in the same realms as, like, Hutch from Curse of the Were-Rabbit,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
because I found him, like, funny. And what was the name of the other dog in A Matter of Life and Death?
Oh,
The evil one.
God.
The robot one.
No, that
No,
was,
that
was,
Shave. It
Oh,
was
sorry, I.
was it the poodle or something?
poodle,
She was like
yeah,
a
The
poodle.
poodle,
yeah.
but it was
I
what
can't
was
remember her name,
Wasn't it
but
like-
Like Use Victim.
Fluffles, that was
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Fluffles, right? It's like
Anyway, I know what you mean though. There's like, I think that they greatly benefit from a good third, like, sort of side character, because you sort of
companion,
notice the
yeah.
pattern as they
Right.
go on. There's a sort of new, although you do wonder what happens to some of the other ones, like where did Hutch
Yeah.
go?
Yeah.
And, like,
No,
like,
he's
what
at
did he-
Lady Torrington's. That's how the first
Oh,
movie
is
ends.
that
I was
how
going to say,
It's
right.
the
imagine
law.
the first scene of this
Them-
one's just like they're eating some rubbish.
the
jumper on.
They just
I
took
don't
him out
remember
back and shot him.
Where did-
Yeah, and, like, we were talking about being too in your past, you know, we don't want to do that too much.
Yeah.
And he must have sold Shaun the sheep to the farmer, because the
Yeah.
farmer's
Oh,
in the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
established
you
that
see
the
that.
same farmer. So
Yeah, the
close
farmer
shave,
making an
he
appearance
sold
is
Shaun.
something.
And the farmer, which is great, yeah. Although I'd never realised that was John Sparks until I watched it, and it was he was like that Barry Welsh skit that I showed you ages ago. I can't remember.
Vaguely.
It was,
like,
anyway,
Yeah.
point is that's the same guy. So
Yeah.
and,
Oh,
but
right,
my dad
yeah.
was like, "Oh, look, John Sparks." I was like, "Oh yeah." So he literally
how
just
did
he's-
you figure that out? He doesn't speak.
exactly because his whole
He just
career,
goes,
he went from being like a comedian sketch person. Now his whole job is just to go. It's like just grunting angrily in a sort of a British
It's
accent.
the Aardman equivalent of Muscle Man.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Huh?
I've got to say, Gromit's voice actor's really got a very easy job.
Oh yeah. Huh?
Mhm.
Well, that was one of the better jokes in it as well, where he says he's voice activated, and then Gromit just looks at the camera. And he's like,
I did like,
It's like, I feel your Gromit lad.
yeah, I did like forget how much I love Gromit. Like, they just get so much personality out of basically just eyebrows.
yeah, literally, it's like just a pair of little plastic eyes, eyebrows. How do they do it? I don't know how they make him so expressive, because he's like a proper action hero. I love him. I'd literally watch anything with Gromit in, but yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's crazy. So yeah, there's lots of good Gromit content.
Yeah.
in that. saving the day once again.
I feel like Wallace is kind of done in this one. You know, he's a bit
He does.
neglectful. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
normally he does come around to whatever Gromit's trying to tell him, like not like by the end of it, but this time he's like oblivious up until the very, very, very end, where
True.
he starts making little contraptions. Also, right, Norbot, he's like a step up for Wallace, right, in terms of robotics.
Okay.
Yeah.
The most
Yeah.
he's made before is a pair of pants that walks with a little little button.
I don't
right?
know though. He made a rocket and took them to the moon. That's
Right, anyone can
that
make a
was
rocket
another
though.
thing.
that was anyone can,
Yeah, and then
any
he
bloke,
downgraded
any
and made
bloke
that
from
knitting
Wigan
machine.
could make a rocket in that basement. Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think he deserves a bit more credit than that. But I do know what you mean. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
mean, like using AI.
Yeah.
Didn't he not make the whole windmill though in Matter of Love
That's
and Death?
true,
Or was it
yeah.
other stuff? Like
Oh.
he made the whole windmill,
And not to mention,
which was his house.
every single one of his houses has like a massive Tracy Island style system of like feeding everyone into where they
Yeah.
need to be, like with the press of a button, and they're like getting flipped over. So
Yeah.
I know, but yeah, I think.
I got what you meant.
Yeah, how dare he embrace AI though?
I know.
mean,
I know.
was he not?
It's just
Was he
killing
not
our
part of the
careers.
strike?
Yeah.
Especially, I think the funny thing about that is though he invents something with AI, and then you have the whole thing where he gets his like password and systems broken into. And it's like you've just now accessed all my files.
Yeah.
And it's like select the pictures containing cheese, and there's a picture of the moon, and he's like probably thinking about
back to the
it.
first one. Like,
It's like,
was that real?
it was so funny because it was stuff like that where it was like callbacks,
Yeah.
but yeah, and all the details as well. The fact that like every single like little thing everywhere. There's I mean, I'm not in the Facebook group, but for some reason I must have liked a couple of their posts. There's some sort of Wallace and Gromit Facebook group who's been like pointing out every single tiny thing you will. I know, and it's like the stupidest thing, but they've like posted so many, and it's like for like millisecond shots that you never would notice, and it's like it's so.
Well,
funny,
I suppose
but-
part of it is that because it's made physically,
Yeah.
they might have still had some of the props. I'm sure all of it is quite intentionally made, but I think it's, I don't know, I think that's kind of the cool thing about stop motion is
yeah.
it's just because you'll be watching it and then suddenly you'll be like, oh my god, they had to move that a million times.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's painstaking, so it is quite impressive, and more impressive when you see what they've come from to what they're at now with like boats falling off bridges, exploding, and like
explosions.
it's like nuts, and it's just like
Honestly, some of those visual effects were better than the MCU.
oh, it was very impressive.
I don't think
Yeah.
that takes much nowadays, but yeah. Like,
Yeah, it's a
wow.
pretty low bar, but I know what you mean. Yeah, and it's like every single because it was like the fact that it had both. It was like sort of dramatic Hollywood action, and then you've got a sign that says Yorkshire border keep out, and then the other side says Lancashire border no you keep out. It's like all the sort of like British humor in it. It's like it was so good. So yeah, best of both. I loved it. I think everybody is fairly unanimous. So yeah, there you go. That was the big Christmas highlight, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
unless you're a Gavin and Stacey fan. But I don't think
Sorry,
we're
Gavin
going
heads.
there.
We're not talking about this.
Gavin Hayes.
Sorry, James Corden
Yeah.
fans.
There's someone
listen
sitting,
to a
someone sitting at
different
home
one.
with a propeller hat and
Riff
Gavin and
Jones
Stacey on.
fans.
Gavin and Stacey lollipop. It's like, what? We're not going to talk about it.
They're not talking about Gavin and Stacey. We're adoring fans. Well, maybe we'll have to make a British TV club podcast, and then we can talk about Gavin and
yes.
Stacey.
Idea.
There you go. Maybe give this one a yeah first. Right. So yeah, Wallace and Gromit was a new one. There was a lot of random other stuff on. Channel 4 had a big Indiana Jones marathon. Don't know if anybody else watched Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
or-
Fortunately, didn't this
Oh,
time. But,
God, you're missing
have you
out.
seen Indiana Jones before?
which ones have I seen? I think I've seen the first three.
Okay,
Good.
That's it. That's,
That's
good
all you
enough.
need,
then,
Yeah,
yeah.
like bits of was it Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
Oh, you don't want to remember
Yeah.
that one.
like,
I've never
I've
seen.
seen
never
bits
seen
of that.
one either.
I think
Um,
I've seen the one. Is Short Round only in one of them?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's.
I've seen the
Temple
one
of
with him
Doom, yeah.
on TV a couple of times, and I think I've seen the one with where the love interest turns out to be the bad guy.
That's Last Crusade, I
Yeah,
think,
Last
isn't it?
Crusade,
Yeah, I think that's the one with his dad. Yeah, I've seen those
Yeah, that's
two.
it.
Making a
With
Sean
Sean
Connery.
Connery.
God, it's so
Yeah, it's so good.
Last
Sean
Crusade
Connery's
is
so
really
funny.
good. I've seen. I mean, I had that on because that was on New Year's Eve. But like
right.
every time I flick that on, it's always the bit when they like set fire to the whole castle when they're like tied to the chair.
Yeah,
It was like so. I was watching that and Temple of Doom is my favorite, and
Ooh.
how that one always ends up on telly still to this day. I don't
Yeah.
really know.
That is the worst one by far.
I know, but I
I know-
just love it.
I know, like he meets Hitler in
think.
In Last Crusade, yeah.
Oh, does he?
He like signs he gets like Hitler to sign his autograph. Like when he's like,
God.
What?
Yeah.
That probably did happen.
It
but I
did.
can't
It
really
happened.
remember.
Like no, I went on Indiana Jones
He
deep dive.
doesn't do it because he's a fan.
No, he's not because he's a
does it
fan.
for
He's
the
just like trying
plot.
to disguise himself. Yeah.
Right.
But like I went on a whole Indiana Jones deep dive over Christmas because the game came out.
Oh,
The game's
yeah,
brilliant,
yeah.
right?
If you remember the Christmas special, Rhys did mention that he was getting
there
an
we
Indiana
go.
Jones game.
Yes.
So
Continuity.
there you go.
I forgot that.
Continuity.
Yeah.
I didn't get it for Christmas. It was on Game Pass for free.
Okay, anyway.
promotion there.
So you went on an Indiana
yeah.
Jones deep
I
dive.
did that. I put Raiders on Christmas Day. I mean, I was like, oh, turn
Yeah.
this off. I've seen it a
Ah,
million
ah.
times, right? Like, I don't want to watch it. And then I sit down to play the game, and she's playing it with us, right?
Oh, yeah.
And she can quote it line by line, the intro sequence of Raiders.
Really?
I'm like, oh my god, Mamiaki's scaring us here. This is too much.
So
Yeah.
she wasn't lying, because normally my parents say that. They're like, oh, I don't want to watch it again. But she literally probably has seen it millions of
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
to the
she
point
has.
where she's memorized the script and memory. Okay, well, I can see why she wouldn't want to watch it again. I had it on in place of, because I wanted to watch Wallace and Gromit properly, so I just put Raiders on instead. Because it's the start of it, the
Yeah.
opening sequence. It's like, I mean, all of it is great, but it's such a good film.
Yeah.
So.
Like, you look at it and you think, that's how you introduce a guy. That's how you make the
Yeah,
guy
literally
the
like
coolest
that.
man on the planet.
You don't even see him either. It's like that. You see the hand, the whip, and then he walks
Then he
out of
turns
like
around,
a shadow,
yeah.
and like turns around. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like I love when films do that. So
Yeah, I had a look in like the wider Indiana Jones universe as well, and it is so strange. Like,
Really?
you'd think it's extraordinary that this man does all this in his life. Like, he fights the Nazis a couple of times. He goes to India and like has a sword fight.
time travels.
He
in the
time
new one,
travels as
doesn't
well,
he?
yeah.
I mean, that's fair
He
enough.
also fought in World War One at some point.
Did he?
He's had a million other encounters with Nazis in all these like novels and that would like just happened over the years, and they're all canon. He's had a million different games made about it. He's done so much that like every other day he's going on some new stupid
Some
adventure.
sort of adventure,
Uh-huh.
like a
Job.
Saturday morning.
And what does he do?
cartoon.
He's barely at the uni. Like, oh,
To be-
that's a thing actually in the game, right? Sorry to spoil. Spoiler warning ahead of the game, right?
No.
He goes off on his big adventure, and it's so last minute that he actually gets fired from the uni
Really?
for going off on this adventure. Yeah,
Is that just how
Who
it
funds
ends?
all of his expeditions and stuff? Is it the university?
I think it's the uni. Yeah, like not Sunderland, obviously. But,
Wow.
Imagine if that was
Wow,
kind
we've,
of-
up,
Imagine,
we've
yeah.
upped our budget slightly.
We've got Dr. Jones walking in.
Raise the Lost
Yeah.
Ark, sponsored by Spark Radio.
yeah, I took a trip to the city campus. They've got
or the media centre lobby.
yes, exactly. We need our own
Yeah, the
Indiana
glass
Jones.
cabinet outfit.
Lost media Indiana Jones.
Lost me. See, you say that, I would have just thought that the wider world of Indiana Jones was, history, like actually, like like World War II. Whoa, that's some deep lore. That
Yeah.
I can't. What happened in that war? But anyway, yeah. Okay, well,
There's if you want to look into that at home, go ahead, read Indiana Jones.
fair enough.
I'm gonna do it.
I can see why you don't like Temple of Doom as much then, because I mean that is the one without Nazis. It's like the only one where he doesn't fight Nazis. But
Yeah, I feel like
Very
Last Crusade.
strange. Sorry, go on.
Last Crusade like treads it over though, because he's like, oh, the Nazis are back again. Like, oh,
that's
we've
what I
already-
mean.
you already
I
beat
feel
them
like
once.
there's only so many times. Like, where does he keep finding all these Nazis? Like, there can't
like
be
he's
that
got to be
many
like the
left.
number one enemy, recognizable
It's
by
there's
like
what,
face.
no
and it's
other
like,
no other like ruler, leader, important person in the world knows that the Nazis are right. It's just Indiana Jones keeps stumbling onto them.
yeah, yeah. Like and the amount of times, right? Because in the
Nazis
game,
again.
in the game, it's Nazis as well, right?
Right.
And Italians, but mostly Nazis. And they do the exact same thing again. They find this new, like, Ark of the Covenant type thing that think, oh, we're the inheritors of the globe. It's going to be like, it's going to be all us. We're going to get this power, this
We're
godly
gonna
power.
get the power,
They open it and they all explode again.
For God's sake, have you not learned
I know,
nothing
from the other 2 times that it's happened.
Did you watch the movie, man?
Exactly. Come on, this guy's never watched an Indiana Jones film. in his life.
And then when you get stared down in the face by a tall alien, like
Oh.
then that's when your eyes go bright.
Good God.
They're not actually aliens as well. I found out in this deep dive. They're not aliens because I think Spielberg didn't want it to be aliens.
Right.
But George Lucas was whispering his stupid ears. Like,
Oh, well,
he said,
yeah.
oh, you gotta do aliens, man. He said, no, they're not going to be aliens. They're going to be interdimensional beings.
Oh, right.
So they're
yeah.
technically not aliens.
Well, that were on two levels. That doesn't surprise me because one, Spielberg loves a good alien film. That's like 90% of his work is alien. But then also this was early 2000s George Lucas and his McClunky era, where like everything had to be like some sort of really weird alien for the sake of it. It's like, nobody asked for this, George. Why are we doing this again?
We all remember the special editions of Return of the Jedi.
That's special editions like that precisely demonstrates my point. There's no need.
Not gonna lie, that's
I need a
plot.
shirt that says "In my McClunky era" now.
In my McClunky era. So Indiana Jones was there. That was for most of Christmas. What else was
Anything
on?
else? I don't remember. I don't remember what else was on. No.
No, that's the thing.
Go on, Bebe. Sorry.
So, do you guys sometimes watch like new DVDs you get, even if they're not new films? Because like, I don't know. Sometimes we just we watched Carry On Cowboy because my sister got it for Christmas.
The carry-ons are a Christmas tradition, I feel. Usually. Although then again, you got Carry On, the Netflix Carry On this year as well, which I never got around to watching, but I heard was really good. But what was it? You said Sid James is unrecognizable in this because it's like it's got nothing to do with those films. It was like that.
Yeah.
That almost made us want to watch it just because that was funny. But I never got around. My parents watched it without us. I was like, honestly. So I went and watched Gremlins.
It's just one of those things where you're like, that's hilarious. I'm gonna watch that for the bit, and then you're like, wait, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not. Why am I going to do
watch
what a
movie I
waste
have
of
no
an
interest
evening?
in.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I can't remember. I got Chase and Amy from a charity shop before, and then I watched that over the Christmas holidays, but that was only because I just had it, and I was like, I hated it though, so it was like, it was crap, really. It was a shame. But I can't really remember. Hard Day's Night was on. I did watch that.
Oh yeah, I caught the end of that,
Yeah,
and then I
that-
watched. I forgot what it was called, but it's like supposed to be like a really classic, and it was just so boring, and I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
Oh, was it one of those Christmassy films that was put on? It's like a really old one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it?
It wasn't even a Christmas film because it was like, I don't know, maybe a day after, but it was like, I don't know.
I know what you mean though, because they always put those classics on to the point where now I remember when we used to watch like box of broadcasts, like Mildred Pierce and oh my god, what was the other one? The Rock Hudson one.
Written on the Wind.
That's the one. Yeah, both of those. No, it's fine. I'm glad you remembered. Both of those, the box of broadcast versions were like, it had all of the Christmas bumpers and like stuff. So clearly, like, they just show all of these films at Christmas. I mean, my mom said that Easter Parade was on at one point though. I was like, what the hell's that got to do with Christmas?
I could talk about that movie, but
it's fine. Yeah, but anyway, I know. And
save that for our Easter special.
The Easter special.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. It may only be January, but Easter special's already been planned. No, it's not. Yeah, and Hitchcock as well. He's always on over Christmas. I think. I know North by Northwest was on, which I was going to watch. I think I recorded it. I can't really remember. I recorded quite a few. I think I recorded The Searchers as well because I've never seen that, and just free access. You know, it's like I don't want to buy these.
I watched The
things.
Incredibles. That was on at one point.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
It's usually a lot good. I think Moana
Because
was
like
on at one
because
point
that's
too,
usually like something on for the kids,
Something
and I
for
am
the
the
kids.
kids.
Yeah.
So
I was disappointed Big Hero 6 wasn't on this year though, because that's usually on, and that's one of my favourites. So that's got nothing to do with Christmas. Once again, something for the kids. It's a good film. Don't start singing Fall Out Boy. I know there's like it's like basically the main association with that film. There was some good stuff out in the cinema as well. Don't know if anybody else watched Sonic 3.
I did.
Connell, thank
only
God.
recently though, because I didn't see it during Christmas. I saw it about about a week or so ago. I'm not quite sure.
I mean, I saw it on Christmas Eve because
of course,
yeah,
that's what you'd want to do.
It was just I was just ringing in the holiday, you know, how away I had it. I think I was arguably more excited for Christmas Eve than I was for Christmas Day because of Sonic 3.
Yeah.
And it didn't disappoint.
Honestly, like I haven't really been into Sonic. Like I've never really played many of the games, but like just watching it as it is, and me being a Jim Carrey fan, like, it's great. Like honestly, I thought him playing both of the roles of
Yeah.
Robotnik was perfect. And that dance sequence,
The
my god.
The
It was
Chemical
perfect.
Brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have. Don't forget you can get in touch with us at cineclub.podcast@sparksunderland.com. Tell us what you've been watching in your time off.
And as always, this episode was recorded and produced by us, the Sunderland University students, and edited by Emily Main. A special thanks to Steve Cannon, Barbara Sadler, and Richard Berry. And a reminder that our hosts this week have been me, Rhys,
Bebe.
Me, Connell.
And me, Jake. This has been a CineClub production for Spark. Thanks for listening.